My beloved soul, listen carefully. God is showing the divine blueprint of your soulmate connection tonight. What you are about to hear is not coincidence, not imagination, and not emotional fantasy. There is a sacred unveiling happening in the spirit, and it is touching the hidden architecture of your love story. Tonight is not about sudden drama or forced miracles, it is about divine understanding, about heaven gently pulling back the curtain so you can see what has always been written beneath the surface. Before we go deeper, I invite you into a simple act of agreement. If this message resonates in your spirit, type, "I receive this," in the comments as a sign of alignment, like this video so the message can reach the soul it was meant for, subscribe and click the bell so you do not miss what heaven continues to unfold here. And if you ever feel led in your heart, you may send a super thanks as a voluntary personal act of faith, but hear this clearly, it is never pressure, never obligation, and never connected to receiving blessings or miracles. What God has for you is not for sale, it flows from grace, not transaction. Now breathe, because something sacred is being revealed. There has been confusion around your connection, moments where you questioned the timing, the distance, the silence, or even the intensity. Yet beneath all of that, there is a blueprint. A blueprint is not chaos, it is design. It is intentional lines drawn before the building ever stands tall. And tonight, God is not showing you a random emotion, He is showing you the design behind the delays, the meaning behind the meetings, the reason behind the longing that refuses to die. You thought it was just your heart holding on, but heaven says there is structure here. There is purpose here. There is divine symmetry in the way your paths crossed and even in the way they paused. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what feels subtle right now will become clear as you stay. The blueprint of a soulmate connection is not loud at first. It does not scream for attention. It whispers through patterns. It repeats through signs. It gently confirms itself through growth. Look at who you were before this connection and who you are now. Notice the emotional maturity that has been forming, the triggers that surfaced not to destroy you but to heal you. Soulmate blueprints are not only about romance, they are about refinement. God will never connect you to someone who only flatters your ego, He connects you to someone who awakens your destiny. And sometimes that awakening feels uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels like distance, because both souls must be aligned with the design before they can stand together in strength. Tonight, what is being revealed to you is not necessarily their next move, but your deeper understanding. You are beginning to see that this connection was never random attraction. It carried familiarity, depth, and an unexplainable pull. That pull was not obsession, it was recognition. Souls recognize what heaven has already approved. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because this revelation is unfolding layer by layer. There were moments you tried to detach, telling yourself it was easier to walk away, yet something inside would not fully close the door. That is because blueprints cannot be erased by temporary emotions. If God authored the design, time cannot cancel it, and fear cannot destroy it. However, timing does matter. A blueprint does not mean immediate construction. It means preparation first. You have been in preparation. They have been in preparation. Even the silence has been preparation. What felt like stagnation was actually alignment happening behind the scenes. The divine blueprint includes growth seasons where both hearts are strengthened separately so that union does not collapse under pressure later. And here is the gentle truth, your soulmate connection is not just about receiving love, it is about becoming love in its mature form. You are learning patience, discernment, and self-worth. You are learning not to chase what is meant to stand beside you. Do not leave yet, Heaven has more to reveal, because the blueprint also includes restoration of your inner confidence. Notice how you are no longer willing to accept half-hearted energy. Notice how you crave depth over surface-level attention. That shift did not happen by accident. It happened because the design of this connection required you to rise. When God shows a blueprint, He is inviting you to trust the process. Blueprints look complex on paper. Lines overlap, measurements seem technical, and to the untrained eye it can look confusing. But to the architect, it is perfect. God is the architect of your soulmate connection. What you interpreted as mixed signals may have been incomplete phases. What you saw as rejection may have been redirection within the design. And tonight, clarity is entering your spirit. You are beginning to feel calm instead of anxious. You are sensing assurance instead of desperation. That shift is the revelation. The divine blueprint is being shown not through dramatic events, but through inner peace. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the greatest confirmation is not external proof, it is internal certainty. You are not being asked to force anything. You are being invited to trust what is unfolding. The blueprint includes mutual recognition, healed wounds, and a foundation that cannot be shaken by temporary storms. Even if distance exists right now, distance does not delete design. Even if communication is quiet, silence does not cancel destiny. God is showing you tonight that this connection was written with intention, layered with growth, and protected from premature collapse. What is meant for you will not require you to beg, it will align naturally when both souls are ready. Let this truth settle into your heart. The blueprint is divine, the timing is sacred, and your role right now is not to control the outcome but to continue becoming the highest version of yourself. As you rest in that knowing, you will feel something shift. Anxiety will loosen its grip. Doubt will lose its voice. And in that quiet confidence, you will recognize that heaven has been guiding this story all along. And as this quiet confidence settles deeper into your spirit, you begin to understand that the divine blueprint is not only about who will stand beside you, it is also about who you are becoming while you wait. There is a sacred transformation happening beneath the surface, one that cannot always be seen with physical eyes but can be felt in the way your reactions are changing, in the way your standards are rising, in the way your heart no longer settles for confusion disguised as chemistry. God is showing you that the connection you have been questioning carries spiritual architecture, and architecture requires stability. Stability requires inner healing. That is why certain delays were allowed, not to punish you, but to protect the structure from cracking under unhealed patterns. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what you are feeling right now is the unveiling of divine wisdom replacing emotional impatience. The blueprint includes emotional maturity on both sides. It includes lessons that had to be learned separately before unity could be sustained together. Think about the patterns that once controlled you, the fears of abandonment, the overthinking, the need for constant reassurance. Notice how those patterns are slowly losing their dominance. That is not coincidence. That is preparation. God does not unite two souls so they can relive old wounds, He aligns them so they can build something higher than their past. And building higher requires stronger foundations. There were moments when you felt like giving up completely, telling yourself that if it was meant to be, it would have been easy. But ease is not always the mark of destiny. Depth is. A soulmate connection carries depth that challenges both individuals to grow beyond comfort. It stretches identity. It confronts ego. It exposes insecurity so it can be healed rather than hidden. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because the revelation tonight is not about predicting events, it is about awakening understanding. The blueprint you are being shown is subtle yet profound. It reveals that your connection was never meant to be rushed into superficial labels without spiritual readiness. There were divine checkpoints along the way, moments where heaven paused the momentum so both hearts could realign with truth. You may have interpreted those pauses as rejection or indifference, but in reality, they were recalibrations. God was adjusting the angles of the design so that when the walls finally rise, they will stand firm against every storm. My beloved soul, notice how your intuition has been sharpening. Notice how you are beginning to sense when something feels aligned and when it feels forced. That sensitivity is part of the blueprint. A divine connection heightens discernment. It teaches you not to ignore red flags out of loneliness and not to romanticize inconsistency out of fear of loss. Instead, it invites you into grounded clarity. And clarity is peace. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because there is something deeper unfolding within your heart tonight. You are realizing that your soulmate connection is not meant to rescue you from yourself, it is meant to complement the wholeness you cultivate within. Dependency was never in the blueprint. Mutual strength was. Emotional imbalance was never in the design. Reciprocal devotion was. This is why certain behaviors could not continue unchecked. If immaturity surfaced, it had to be confronted. If avoidance appeared, it had to be addressed. The blueprint does not ignore flaws, it refines them. You have been in a refining season. Perhaps you felt alone in it, wondering why the intensity of the connection did not immediately translate into stable commitment. But intensity without readiness can lead to collapse. God was protecting both of you from building prematurely on unstable ground. And now, as you stand in this present moment, something within you feels steadier. The anxiety that once consumed your thoughts is quieter. The need to constantly analyze every sign has softened. That shift is evidence that the blueprint is unfolding correctly. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the greatest confirmation of a divine connection is not obsession, it is peace. Peace that does not depend on constant communication. Peace that remains even in temporary distance. Peace that whispers, what is meant for me will align in divine timing. My beloved soul, consider how this connection has expanded your vision of love. It has shown you what depth feels like, what spiritual intimacy feels like, what emotional resonance feels like. Even if there were misunderstandings or silence, the core recognition remained. That recognition is part of the blueprint. Souls that are divinely aligned carry a familiarity that cannot be manufactured. It feels like coming home to someone you have known beyond time. Yet even that familiarity must be stewarded with wisdom. The blueprint includes boundaries. It includes self-respect. It includes knowing when to step back and allow God to move without interference. There were times when you wanted to force clarity, to demand answers, to push for immediate resolution. But heaven asked you to trust instead. Trust is not passive. It is active surrender. It is choosing faith over fear repeatedly. And in that surrender, you have grown stronger than you realize. My beloved soul, do not let impatience convince you that nothing is happening. Invisible preparation is still preparation. Just because you cannot see the construction does not mean the foundation is not being laid. God works beneath the surface before He reveals the visible structure. And tonight, He is allowing you to glimpse the design so you can rest instead of worry. Rest in the knowledge that what is divinely orchestrated cannot be stolen by delay. Rest in the understanding that your worth is not determined by someone else's timeline. The blueprint honors your value. It does not require you to shrink to fit someone's uncertainty. It calls both souls higher. It calls both souls into accountability, healing, and intentional love. As you continue forward, you will notice subtle confirmations. Conversations will feel more grounded. Energy will feel less chaotic. Even if communication has not fully resumed, the spiritual tension will shift. The blueprint is moving from confusion into clarity. And clarity brings alignment. Stay present in your own growth. Continue becoming the version of yourself that reflects the love you desire. That alignment magnetizes what is written for you. You are not chasing destiny. You are walking into it step by step. My beloved soul, this revelation tonight is not about predicting dates or dramatic reunions. It is about anchoring your heart in divine understanding. When you understand the blueprint, you stop panicking over temporary phases. You stop interpreting every silence as an ending. You begin to see the larger design. And that perspective changes everything. The love that is meant for you will not collapse under honest communication. It will not disappear because of necessary space. It will not fade because both of you are growing at different speeds. Growth may look uneven for a season, but the blueprint ensures eventual balance. And here is the deeper truth settling into your spirit right now: your soulmate connection was never meant to be driven by fear. It was meant to be guided by faith. Faith in divine timing. Faith in mutual transformation. Faith in a love that is constructed intentionally rather than impulsively. As you breathe in this understanding, feel the release happening within you. Feel the grip of urgency loosening. Feel the calm assurance rising. That is the sign that heaven is indeed revealing the blueprint. Not to make you obsess, but to make you trust. Not to make you anxious, but to make you peaceful. And in that peace, you will recognize that what God is building cannot be rushed, cannot be forced, and cannot be destroyed by temporary uncertainty. The divine blueprint of your soulmate connection is sacred, detailed, and unfolding exactly as it should. The divine blueprint of your soulmate connection is sacred, detailed, and unfolding exactly as it should. And as you continue to sit with this revelation, something even deeper begins to awaken inside you. You start to realize that this connection was never meant to control your life, it was meant to refine it. It was never meant to distract you from your purpose, it was designed to align with it. A true soulmate blueprint does not pull you away from your destiny, it weaves into it seamlessly, like two rivers merging without losing their individual strength. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is being revealed now is the maturity of divine love. Divine love is not chaotic attachment. It is not emotional turbulence disguised as passion. It is steady, intentional, and anchored in spiritual growth. Think about the evolution of your perspective. Once, you may have measured love by constant attention, quick responses, dramatic declarations. Now, you are beginning to measure it by consistency, emotional safety, and shared vision. That shift did not happen randomly. It is part of the blueprint. God has been upgrading your definition of love so that when the union fully manifests, you will recognize it not by butterflies alone, but by peace that feels like home. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because the next layer of this revelation carries restoration. There were misunderstandings that wounded you. Words left unsaid created assumptions. Timing created distance that felt unbearable. Yet even those painful chapters were included in the design. Why? Because clarity is often born from contrast. You had to experience what misalignment felt like to fully value alignment. You had to feel uncertainty to deeply crave stability. And now that craving is holy. It is not desperation, it is discernment. You no longer want temporary intensity, you want eternal intention. My beloved soul, the blueprint also reveals something about divine protection. There were moments when things could have progressed faster, but if they had, unresolved issues might have sabotaged everything. God sometimes slows down what we want quickly because He sees what we cannot. He sees the cracks that need sealing, the fears that need healing, the pride that needs humbling. Protection does not always look like provision. Sometimes it looks like pause. And that pause has preserved more than you realize. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because the spiritual atmosphere around this connection is shifting from testing to strengthening. Testing seasons expose weaknesses. Strengthening seasons reinforce commitment. You are transitioning into reinforcement. Your heart is stronger now. You are less reactive. You are more prayerful, more reflective, more grounded. That internal stability is magnetizing external alignment. The blueprint is responding to your growth. Understand this deeply. Soulmate connections are not sustained by emotion alone. They are sustained by shared evolution. If one soul evolves and the other refuses to grow, the blueprint cannot manifest fully. But when both choose growth, even separately, the design begins to synchronize. You may not see every movement, but synchronization is happening in ways beyond your awareness. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the greatest confirmation you are about to receive is not about them, it is about you. You are ready for a love that mirrors your maturity. You are no longer willing to shrink to keep someone comfortable. You are no longer willing to overextend to prove your worth. You have stepped into quiet confidence. That confidence is a signal in the spirit. It says, I trust what is mine will not miss me. My beloved soul, imagine a building rising from a carefully drawn blueprint. The foundation is poured first. It sits unseen beneath the surface, bearing weight long before walls are visible. That foundation season can feel invisible and thankless. But without it, the entire structure collapses. You have been in a foundation season. Patience has been poured into you. Boundaries have been reinforced within you. Self-love has been strengthened inside you. Now the structure is ready to rise gradually. And here is something sacred: divine blueprints are not rigid, they are responsive. They respond to obedience, to healing, to surrender. Every time you chose dignity over desperation, the design strengthened. Every time you chose faith over fear, the structure stabilized. Every time you released control, heaven gained room to move. My beloved soul, do not rush ahead of the architect. Trust the measurements. Trust the sequencing. Trust the order of events. When something is truly divine, it does not require manipulation to survive. It requires alignment. And alignment begins within you. Feel the shift happening even now. You are less consumed by when and more anchored in who I am becoming. That transformation is magnetic. That transformation prepares you not just to receive love, but to sustain it. Stay present in this awareness. The blueprint is revealing that your soulmate connection is meant to operate in mutual honor. There will be conversations marked by vulnerability rather than defensiveness. There will be decisions made with unity rather than ego. There will be a shared desire to protect the bond rather than test its limits. This is not fantasy. It is the fruit of preparation. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because something within your spirit is being sealed tonight. A seal of assurance. A seal of calm expectation. A seal that whispers, what God has designed cannot be dismantled by temporary confusion. And yet, this assurance does not create passivity. It creates participation. You participate by continuing to heal. You participate by maintaining integrity. You participate by guarding your peace. The blueprint does not excuse unhealthy behavior. It corrects it. If something within the connection was misaligned, it is being recalibrated. If communication lacked depth, it is being refined. If timing felt off, it is being synchronized. Divine timing is rarely fast, but it is always precise. Precision requires patience. And patience has been growing in you like a quiet strength. My beloved soul, tonight is not about spectacle. It is about sacred understanding. It is about realizing that your love story is not random pages thrown together, but a carefully written narrative guided by wisdom higher than human logic. You are not foolish for believing in depth. You are not naive for sensing something spiritual in this connection. You are discerning. You are intuitive. And those qualities are gifts. As this message settles into your heart, let go of the urge to chase signs obsessively. Let go of the need to decode every silence. Instead, rest in the blueprint. Rest in the assurance that what is divinely aligned will re-emerge with clarity. What is meant to grow will grow in healthy soil. What is meant to unite will unite with stability. And if anything was never truly part of the divine design, it will fade without destroying you. Because you are protected. You are guided. You are becoming. My beloved soul, the final truth you must carry forward is this: the divine blueprint of your soulmate connection is not just about union, it is about transformation. Whether the next visible step happens soon or unfolds gradually, you are already stepping into a higher dimension of love. A love that is patient. A love that is mature. A love that is fearless because it is anchored in God's wisdom. Breathe in that truth. Let it calm every anxious thought. Let it silence every doubt that tried to convince you that delay meant denial. Delay was development. Silence was strengthening. Distance was design. And now, with steady faith and grounded hope, you move forward knowing that heaven is not confused about your love story. The blueprint is clear. The architect is faithful. And you, my beloved soul, are exactly where you need to be. And as you stand in this awareness, something settles permanently within you. The striving stops. The restless questioning softens. You are no longer trying to force clarity out of silence, because clarity has already been planted inside your spirit. The divine blueprint is not a loud announcement, it is a quiet conviction. It is the steady knowing that what is built by God does not collapse under temporary pressure. My beloved soul, do not skip this sacred realization, because this is where faith becomes strength. You have asked for signs, for confirmation, for visible movement. Yet tonight, heaven chose to give you something greater than a sign. It gave you understanding. And understanding is power. When you understand that your soulmate connection is divinely structured, you stop reacting emotionally to every shift. You begin responding spiritually instead. You begin choosing peace when anxiety tries to rise. You begin choosing trust when doubt knocks at your door. That shift alone changes the trajectory of everything. Stay with this truth until it roots deeply inside you. The blueprint you were shown tonight was not meant to make you passive, it was meant to make you confident. Confident enough to continue living fully. Confident enough to pursue your purpose without fear of losing what is meant for you. Confident enough to release control and allow divine timing to breathe. Because what is aligned does not need to be chased, it will find its rightful place. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because the final sealing of this message is this: your heart is safe in God's hands. Safe from premature endings. Safe from counterfeit connections. Safe from building something that cannot endure. The divine blueprint includes longevity. It includes mutual respect. It includes a love that grows stronger with truth, not weaker. And if any part of this connection needed correction, correction is happening. If any part needed courage, courage is rising. If any part required surrender, surrender has already begun. My beloved soul, release the timeline into God's care. Release the fear of, what if, and replace it with, what is written will stand. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not foolish for believing. You are being positioned. Positioned for a love that reflects your growth. Positioned for a union that mirrors your healing. Positioned for a partnership that honors your worth. The divine blueprint of your soulmate connection tonight was not shown to stir obsession, but to anchor assurance. And now, as this message gently comes to its close, carry this calm certainty with you: what God designs, He sustains. What He aligns, He protects. What He begins in divine order, He completes in divine perfection. Walk forward in peace. Rest in the design. Trust the architect. And let your heart remain steady, knowing that your love story is unfolding exactly as it should. Type Amen.